I want to ask you something that most people are too afraid to ask themselves. Are you actually on track for retirement? Not the vague feeling that you are probably fine, not the assumption that things will work out. Are you actually on track? Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Most Americans believe they are doing okay with retirement, and most Americans are wrong. There are 9 specific warning signs that tell you, clearly, mathematically, honestly, whether your retirement is in serious trouble. Not someday trouble. Real trouble that requires real action right now. Today, I am going to walk you through all 9. Some of them you will recognize immediately. Some of them will surprise you. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly where you stand and exactly what to do about it. The first sign that you are headed for a broke retirement is the most basic one. You do not know your number. Your number is how much money you need to have saved by the time you retire to live comfortably for the rest of your life. Not a rough guess. An actual number based on your actual expected expenses. Ask yourself right now, do you know your number? Not approximately. Exactly. Most Americans do not. They have a vague sense that $1 million sounds like a lot, or that they should save more, or that Social Security will figure it out. But they have never sat down and done the actual math. Here is a simple way to find your number. Estimate your expected monthly expenses in retirement, housing, food, healthcare, transportation, activities. Multiply by 12 to get your annual number, then multiply that by 25. That is the amount you need saved to safely withdraw 4% per year indefinitely. If you spend $4,000 a month in retirement, you need $1.2 million saved. If you spend $5,000 a month, you need $1.5 million. If you spend $3,000 a month, you need $900,000. Do you know your number? If not, that is sign number 1. The second sign is your savings rate. Specifically, if you are saving less than 15% of your income for retirement, you are almost certainly falling behind. Most financial experts agree that saving 10 to 15% of your income for retirement is the minimum to retire comfortably, and that assumes you started in your mid-20s. If you started later, you need to save more. The average American saves approximately 5% of their income. That is 1/3 of what is needed. At 5% savings, most people will reach retirement with a fraction of what they need and be completely dependent on Social Security, which, as we discussed, pays an average of $1,900 a month. The fix is simple to say and hard to do. Increase your savings rate, not all at once if you cannot. By 1% every 6 months. Every raise you get, redirect half of it to savings before you can spend it. Over time, getting to 15% or higher is achievable for most Americans if it is made a priority. The third sign is the most expensive one by far. You have money sitting in a savings account and you have not moved it into investments. A savings account is not an investment. A savings account earning 0.5% while inflation runs at 3% means you are losing 2.5% of your purchasing power every single year. Your balance goes up while your wealth goes down. The S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% per year for 100 years. The difference between keeping money in a savings account and investing it in an index fund over 30 years is not small. It is the difference between poverty and comfort in retirement. If you have money sitting in a savings account that you will not need for 10 or more years, it needs to be in a Roth IRA or 401k invested in low-cost index funds. Today, not next month. Today, the fourth sign is high-interest debt, specifically credit card debt, and it is one of the clearest predictors of a broke retirement. Here is why. Every dollar you pay in credit card interest at 27% is a dollar that could have been invested at 10% average annual returns. Over time, the person paying off 27% debt and investing the freed-up money builds enormously more wealth than the person making minimum payments and keeping the debt alive. And debt that follows you into retirement is catastrophic. When your income drops from a salary to Social Security and investment withdrawals, the minimum payment on a credit card that felt manageable suddenly consumes a devastating percentage of your fixed income. The rule is simple. Before you invest anything beyond capturing your full 401k employer match, eliminate all high-interest consumer debt. Every dollar of credit card debt you carry is costing you significantly more than any investment can earn you. The fifth sign is the absence of an emergency fund, and it matters more for retirement than most people realize. Without an emergency fund, every financial setback, car repair, medical bill, job loss, broken appliance, goes on a credit card. And credit card debt at 27% interest directly destroys your ability to build retirement wealth. The person with no emergency fund is constantly being knocked backward every time life happens. They save money, something breaks, it goes on the card, they spend months paying it off, they save again, something else happens. They never build momentum. 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a high-yield savings account breaks this cycle permanently. It turns unexpected expenses from financial catastrophes into minor inconveniences, and it allows retirement savings to grow uninterrupted. The sixth sign is subtle but dangerous. You are counting on an inheritance, either consciously or unconsciously, as part of your retirement plan. The problem with this plan is threefold. First, healthcare costs at the end of life can consume an entire estate within months. The $200,000 long-term care costs we discussed earlier can erase an inheritance before it reaches you. Second, people are living longer than expected, which means inheritances arrive later and later. Receiving a large inheritance at 75 is very different from receiving it at 60. Third, family situations change. Divorces, remarriages, financial hardship, and shifting family dynamics mean that expected inheritances frequently do not materialize as expected. Build your retirement as if zero inheritance is coming. If something arrives, it is a bonus. If it does not, you are fine. The seventh sign is planning to work forever as a retirement strategy. I understand why this feels reasonable. If you keep working, you keep earning, and retirement savings matter less. The math works on paper. The problem is that the decision to stop working is not always yours to make. Health problems force early retirement for a significant percentage of Americans. Studies suggest that over half of Americans retire earlier than planned, often due to health issues or job loss. You cannot plan a retirement strategy around staying healthy and employed indefinitely because neither of those things is fully within your control. Build a retirement plan that works without earned income. If you can keep working, wonderful. Your financial position will be even stronger. But do not make continued employment the cornerstone of your retirement security. The eighth sign is not planning specifically and seriously for healthcare costs in retirement. We have covered this number before, but it deserves its own warning sign. The average retired couple will spend $315,000 on healthcare in retirement. That number does not include long-term care. It does not include the costs that Medicare does not cover. It does not account for healthcare inflation running at 5 to 6% annually. Most retirement calculators let you plug in a monthly expense number and model your retirement. Most people filling out those calculators significantly underestimate healthcare because they are currently healthy and cannot imagine needing expensive care. The fix requires treating healthcare as its own category in your retirement plan. Open a health savings account if you are eligible. Money goes in pre-tax, grows tax-free, and comes out tax-free for qualified medical expenses. It is the most tax-advantaged account available to most Americans, and relatively few people use it to its full potential. The ninth and final sign is failing to plan for how long you might actually live. Most retirement plans are built for a 20 to 25-year retirement, but 1 in 4 Americans who reach age 65 will live past 90. 1 in 10 will live past 95. A 30-year retirement is increasingly common. A retirement plan built for 25 years that needs to last 30 or more years does not quietly run a little short. It runs out completely. And running out of money at 85 while you are still alive and still need food and housing and health care is one of the most devastating financial outcomes imaginable. The fix is building your retirement projections to age 95. Delaying Social Security as long as possible to maximize your guaranteed monthly income. Maintaining some equity exposure in your portfolio throughout retirement so your savings continue growing, and considering annuities for a portion of your retirement income to guarantee income you cannot outlive. 9 signs. Let me go through them one more time quickly. You do not know your retirement number. Your savings rate is below 15%. You have not started investing, and your money is sitting in a savings account. You're carrying high-interest consumer debt. You have no emergency fund. You are counting on an inheritance. You are planning to work forever as a retirement strategy. You are ignoring healthcare costs in your retirement planning. You have not planned for how long you might actually live. If none of these apply to you, excellent. You are in a strong position and you should keep doing what you are doing. If one or two apply, take action on those specific issues this week, not someday. This week. If several apply, do not panic, but do get serious. The earlier you identify these warning signs and address them, the better your outcome will be. People recover from far worse financial starting points than where you are right now. The Americans who retire comfortably are not the ones who got lucky. They are the ones who identified their warning signs early enough to do something about them. You just did that. Now it is time to act. If this video helped you understand where you stand, hit the like button right now. Subscribe because every week we break down exactly how to build real financial security in plain English. And comment below how many of these 9 signs apply to you right now. Be honest. I read every single comment. Take care of your money because your money takes care of everything else.